You know, so I recently just watched these Kanye West interviews. He did the interview with Charlamagne Da God, and he did an interview. He went on to the show TMZ, and he did an interview with Harvey Levin. Um, to me, both interviews were good. Um, excuse me. The interview with Charlamagne was really cool. I was cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I was really cool with that. Good interview. Good interview. He said some things that I've heard him say before, and I'm not necessarily talking about verbatim, word for word, within his dialogue. I'm just saying it's basically certain things that I've heard him say before, which is cool. He didn't say anything wrong. He's cool. And then, the interview that he did on TMZ, that was a little more that was a little more, I don't know, emotional or something like that. To me, he was cool. He was fine. He was just being Kanye. But that was a little more intense. I mean, Harvey Levin was cool. You know what I'm saying? And during the interview, in the middle of the interview, Kanye decided, because it was at the TMZ office, Kanye decided to get up and address the whole TMZ office. Everybody that works there. And he basically, he basically stood on top. And basically addressed everybody in the office. He was like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? He made his statements. He made his claims. I don't think he said anything wrong. But one person that did challenge him is Mr. Van Lathan. Mr. Van Lathan is basically, before you knew his name, if you watch TMZ, he basically comes across as the token black guy on the TMZ show. Which, whatever, I don't care that much about. I don't know that dude. But anyway, I have seen the show before. I don't watch TV. I understand. Um, and he kind of challenged Kanye. He challenged Kanye. He challenged Kanye's statements, and he said what he said. To me, Van didn't say anything wrong. He made good points. He didn't say anything wrong, but he said he was disappointed with Kanye, and he said some things. He said, he was like, I rock, I rock with you. I'm a fan of yours. He was like, but basically when talking to Kanye, like when you talk about you love Donald Trump and you rock with Donald Trump, that's your boy. It's like you're basically you're standing next to somebody that has made it clear to me that he doesn't rock with me because I'm a black man or I'm a minority or whatever the case, or what I'm saying. This person appears to be my enemy. You know what I'm saying? Our enemy. As a black man, as a black people, as a race, and you sit and you look at the you look at the saw you look at the saw go down on during the interview, and Van didn't even look like he gave him a real hug. He didn't look like he was into it at all. You know what I'm saying? Van just looked like whatever. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is I think people need to relax a little bit. Just they need to relax a little bit when it comes to Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not talking about what he says. Um, I'm just saying, yeah, yeah. A lot of y'all out here, a lot of people need to relax when it comes to Kanye West. Y'all need to chill. I think what it is, in my personal observations, I think what it is, I think a lot of people just don't understand what Kanye West is trying to say. That's why, me personally, somebody that talks to people for a living and listens to people for a living, I think it would be best if Kanye gets better, finds better ways to effectively get his message across to not just his fans, his fake fans, his fair weather fans, but the general public, people that have heard of him, people that have never heard of him. You know what I'm saying? I think that would benefit him a lot more in a positive manner if Kanye West could successfully do that and find more effective ways to communicate his messages, what he wants to say to the people in general, anyone that wants to that is interested in really listening to him, you know, it would be best if he would get better at effectively getting those messages across. Um, I don't think that anything that he said was crazy. I don't think that anything that he said was wrong. I just think that unfortunately for Kanye West right now, I feel like his public perception for a lot of people that aren't just super duper Kanye West fans is it's a really negative perception. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good. I don't agree with it. I think that I think that a lot of people need to just relax and just just think a little. Just think. Me myself, I consider myself a proactive thinker. You know what I mean? And I don't like to use the word follower in this reference, but I'm not a follower in a negative regard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just go along with what everybody else says and what everybody else does. I'm not that way either. And I think that that's kind of what Kanye West is saying right now. He's challenging it. He's challenging the system, which has been going on, I think, for a very, very long time. I don't have a problem with that. Am I a Kanye West fan? For the most part, I have not been. No. Do I agree with everything that he says or does? Nah, you talking crazy. But some things that he says and does, I do agree with. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of them. So I feel like a lot of people just look at Kanye kind of crazy. And it's just like, I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, I'm just, it's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Give the brother a break, and you listen. If you watch the whole interview that he did with Charlamagne Da God, it's a great interview. And he said some good stuff. Like, he didn't say anything wrong. Like, I didn't disagree with anything that he said. The interview he did with TMZ, that was a different tone. He was more intense, more emotional, more like, I don't know. It was different. It was a different vibe. Because with Charlamagne, he was just chilling. That was a dope interview. You know what I'm saying? And he said some things that I definitely did agree with, and I don't think he was talking crazy. Like, for example, what is the one thing that I've seen on some media outlets? What he was getting fried because he said the interview he did. I guess I thought I heard him reference it during the interview he did with Charlamagne, but the interview he did with Harvey Levin on TMZ, he was talking about slavery was a choice for the black people, Africans, centuries ago. A lot of people didn't like that, you know. Okay. And you don't have to like it. That's fine, no problem. Um, I personally agree with it because he's right. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of the statements that he made to me were right. Um, of course it was a choice. Of course it was a choice. You know what I'm saying? You either live there with it, you either sit there and live there with the slavery thing, or you do something about it if you're not about that life. You try to escape. You get out of there. A lot of people did successfully escape. Uh, you try to escape even if it costs your life, even if you get killed in the process. You still try to escape because you're not trying to live like this. You do whatever you can do to manipulate the current system, quote unquote. But you know what I'm saying? You definitely have a choice. I've heard some people talking about, oh no, you don't have a choice. No, that's not a choice. They didn't have a choice. Yeah, they did have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do your history in a lot of the boats that were bringing Africans over from Africa over to what is now the United States of America in order to be slaves, basically, a lot of those people jumped off the boat when they saw an island in the distance. They jumped off the boat and they were like, screw that, and they swam to that island. You know that island today as Puerto Rico. Okay? Understand what you're talking about. Know what you're talking about before you decide to crap on somebody. You know what I mean? And this goes back. Muhammad Ali knew this. Okay, you know what I'm saying. This goes deeper than Kanye West. A lot of people knew this. You know what I'm saying. So, I mean, no, I don't believe Kanye West is crazy at all. I think he is. He's got a lot. I think he's got a lot of good information. You know what I'm saying. He's got a lot of knowledge. I think he is an active thinker. You know what I'm saying? I can relate to him because he's somebody that seems to enjoy what he does for a living because the stories I hear about him from people that have been next to him, it's like he's always working. He's always working. He's always working. That's kind of how I like to be because I enjoy what I do for a living. But you know what I'm saying? Real talk. Real talk. Seriously now. Seriously now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think people really need to lighten up on when it comes to Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? I just watched this other interview with it's a I don't know the name of the show. I don't know if it's called the Don Lemon Show or whatever, but it's Don Lemon interviewing Ebro from Ebro in the Morning on Hot 97 in New York City. And of course, they're talking about Kanye West. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Ebro. You know, when it comes to my man Ebro in the morning, when it comes to my man Ebro, look, because I listen to Hot 97 on occasion. I like Rosenberg. I used to live in Maryland, so you know, Peter Rosenberg used to be on the radio in the Washington D.C. metropolitan area. He used to be on what is it called 106.7, and he was on the radio there. I used to listen to him there. You know, you hear him on Hot 90. If you listen to Hot 97, you hear him on the radio now. No, Rosenberg's cool. I like Rosenberg. I like Pete Rosenberg. He's cool. He's cool. He's hip. Um, mm, Ebro. You know, there's sometimes when I hear Ebro talking about something, and I agree with him. I actually agree with him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think Ebro's all right. You know, a lot of times he's talking about something, a particular subject, topic, whatever. I agree with him. And then there's a lot of times where I just will absolutely not agree with what this guy is talking about. Not to say he's crazy. It's just I don't know. It's the logic or something. I'm just like, Ebro, come on, buddy, come on, man. Like, oh wow, he's the first person that comes to mind in regards to that topic. You know, it's just like sometimes I really agree with what he's saying, and then other times he is so deep, deep, deep left field. It's like not saying he's talking crazy. It's just like he's just like you're not saying anything that I will possibly agree with today, tomorrow, next week, month, or year, decade. Come on, dude. Ebro. Like sometimes Ebro be killing me, man, with his logic. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, there's no way we're agreeing on this. There's no chance in hell, man. So anyway, you know, he's doing a sit down with Don Lemon, and they're basically talking about Kanye West, and they're basically talking about how like both feel like Kanye West is going way too far. He's out of bounds. They didn't say he was crazy or nothing. They just didn't agree. Basically, they just didn't agree with Kanye West was saying. That's if I had any buzzwords for you, I'd hit you with that. But they basically just did not agree with what Kanye West was saying. Excuse me. You have the right to do that, so no problem. I mean, Don Lemon, I didn't quite know what he was talking about. It's like, what I'm just saying, man. I mean, I'm familiar with Don Lemon, but I'm just saying, I'm looking at homie like, what? He was talking like he was real hip, but it was just like, you sure? But at the same time, Ebro, I mean, it's like, Ebro, like, you sure? And that's why I give my man Charlamagne Da God props, because at least, you know what I'm saying? Because initially what I heard, Kanye West wanted to do interviews. Yeah, he has the upcoming albums coming out. He has an album coming out with Kid Cudi. He has his own solo project coming out early June. And he's producing albums for Nas, Tiana Taylor, Pusha T, all upcoming. So he's doing work. Kanye West is still involved in music, absolutely. And he's a dope producer, so he should be. and he's a cool artist. So, okay, so he's promoting that. The interview he did with Charlamagne Da God, Kanye West, I mean, for the most part, he really wasn't even talking about music. He was talking about other stuff. It goes so much further than music in this interview, you know what I'm saying? Which is cool, you know, because last time I checked, he was just like, I don't just want to be referred to or labeled as a rapper. You know, I'm an artist, you know, because, you know, he thinks outside. And I'm cool with that. That's what's up. I'm definitely cool with that. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So like I like his interview. I like Kanye West's interview that he did with Charlamagne the God because Charlamagne was chilling. You know what I'm saying? He went out there to see him. You know. Well, anyway, yeah. So Kanye West wanted to do interviews. He wanted to do an interview with Charlamagne the God, not Angela Yee, not DJ Envy. No, he wanted to do an interview with Charlamagne the God. They've come a long way. And for Hot 97, he wanted to do an interview with Ebro. You know, not Peter Rosenberg, not Laura. No, Ebro. He wanted each of them to come out to California to interview him. I think it's California. I think he wanted them to come out to see him. I mean, I could dig that. You know what I'm saying? At first, I was just like, you know, like Ebro was on Ebro on the morning show, and he was just like he put the phone lines open to callers, and he was like, you know what I'm saying? You know, should I go out to California to do this? You know, and initially I was just like, nah, screw that. I was like, have him come out to see you. But, you know, big ups to Kanye West because, you know, he said something during the interview with Charlamagne, and I was like, you know what? He's absolutely right. As long as you don't go crazy with it. He's absolutely right. It's like, you have to know who you are. You have to know what you're worth. And at the same time, the interview he did with Charlamagne was like, what? An hour and 45 minutes. To me, that's not that long. That's not crazy. An hour and 45 minutes is just fine, especially if it's a special interview, you know, because if you go to a radio station on a radio show to do an interview, you may not be provided with all the time that you feel that you need in order to say everything that you want to say, to get all of your messages across, you know what I'm saying? So that is probably the best way to go about it. Be like, nah, Charlamagne, come holler at me. Charlamagne was the smart one. Big ups to Charlamagne. He was the smart one. He went to Cali. You know what I'm saying? He went to Cali. He interviewed Kanye straight up. And it was a dope interview. It was a dope interview. Kanye made a lot of good points. He didn't say anything wrong. I didn't really disagree with anything that he said. I have no problems with that interview. You know what I'm saying? I have no problems with that interview at all. You know what I'm saying? That's the cool Kanye. He was the cool Kanye in that interview. I have no problems with that whatsoever. You know? People be talking. I don't think he's crazy at all. Nah, I don't think he's crazy at all. I think he thinks, me personally, I feel that he thinks a certain way that a lot of people do not think and or are afraid to think, you know, in those ways. That's what I think. That's what I think. Because to me, it's a little obvious. It's like, come on. He makes a lot of good points with his statements when he's talking about how people are perceived, how people are manipulated in the society, how they have been for years and years and years and years. It's like he's not making this up. He's like, he's actually right. Kanye West could like Donald Trump, rock with Donald Trump, love Donald Trump all he wants. That's his personal business. That's his prerogative. You know, he can do what he wants to do. Bobby Brown told y'all once upon a time. But, I mean, to me, Kanye West isn't really talking crazy. And I feel like, me personally, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of people in our society, y'all look straight bonkers. Y'all look like some slam haters. Because I watched, oh man, I look at the videos, the online videos, and I scroll down to see what some people are saying about certain things. A lot of the comments, the posts, a lot of the comments are just stupid. A lot of the comments are just stupid. It's like, oh man, it's like, it's not even about making good sense. It's just like, I'm just looking at this and I'm looking at the people like, are you sure? Like, you even... Do you even understand what Kanye just said? Like, are you sure? Like, are you just jumping on the bandwagon? Because apparently that is a ginormous bandwagon. Like, are you sure you even understand what this man just said or is trying to say to you? I think a lot of people do not. And they just rolling with everybody else. To me, to quote my man Star, the hater, that's some sucker shit. Straight up. And I try not to curse too much, but that's some sucker shit. Some sucker shit. Fuck out of here. The hell is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? I don't live like that. I'm not a follower like that. No, 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 no. Because people told people ahead of me, whether it be my parents, relatives, family, friends, ahead of me, they told me to do way better than that. I don't know what they taught some of y'all or some of these other cats out here, but nah. You know what I'm saying? Nah. You think for yourself. And what Kanye was saying, basically, free thinking, free thought. Even Harvey Levin agreed with that. He was like, yeah, that is a huge problem because it's the truth in the United States of America. It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Free thought, free thinking is not encouraged. Real free thought, real free thinking. It's not encouraged. It's not encouraged. And the reason I think why it's not encouraged is because certain people in positions of power, so to speak, a very small percentile, they don't want to lose their pull. They don't want to lose their power, their grasp, you know, over the general public here in the United States of America. They don't want to lose control. No shock value with that either. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you have anything to say about it, feel free to let me know in the comment section below, the description box. It is really no thing. Look, if you want to check the interview out, just basically, you could in your you could type into the search engine Kanye West Charlamagne interview. You could do Kanye West TMZ interview for his interview on TMZ. The Don Lemon Ebro thing, I don't even know how I found that. You could just type in Don Lemon and Ebro interview or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This stuff really isn't that hard to find. I don't really need to provide you with links because it seems to be really popping right now. People are hating, because people are haters. Miserable people do miserable things. Never forget that. You know what I'm saying, my people? But I've had about enough of this. You know what I'm saying? Just like, people claim that they've had enough of Kanye, even though who's more successful, you or Kanye? Let's be serious about this. I'm just saying. I'm just going to put that out there.